It's quite a bit. And I have a lot to take in. For me, the fight is just getting started. Yes, you also need me to prevail in the conflict. I have to be your staunchest ally in this situation. You'll enjoy yourself here, I believe. I believe you'll succeed. They have weighed the gold. The season is over. The checks have also been written. After a grueling, heartbreaking Season 15, Parker's crew has finally reached the moment of truth. They pushed the limits of their machines and bodies. It's time to find out if the risk was worthwhile. We have first access to the final rewards, and the sums are just crazy. Our season total, because 7,000 ounces is our target. 427.25. However, this is not merely a tale of large numbers. A single season can make or ruin you in the high-stakes world of gold mining. Having so much gold and this much ground is just really annoying. And given the financial issues we're currently dealing with, it might as well not exist at all. This is the actual breakdown of who got what and why Parker's squad as a whole is thrilled with this season's compensation. The golden handshake. The expectation in the Klondike is palpable. This is the actual breakdown of who got what and why Parker's squad as a whole is thrilled with this season's compensation. The golden handshake. The expectation in the Klondike is palpable. Parker Schnabel and his hard-working crew have been engaged in a never-ending conflict with nature for months. A game of chess with the frozen earth with tremendous stakes. They've survived everything the Yukon has to offer. Equipment failures that may ruin their entire operation. Bone-chilling temperatures that could freeze machines solid. And the constant psychological toll of a season that requires their best effort. Already. Yes, exactly. It's just that, man, that thing popping like that is pretty crazy. Indeed. Yes, broke the end of it right off the eye. Yes, broke immediately. I can figure out a way to get this thing out of here, though. However, the battle is now done. They've slewed the rest of the pay dirt. Now that the final gold weigh-in is finished, the score needs to be added up. And it's quite a score. As you can see, a lot of individuals are unaware that working for Parker Schnabel is more than simply a job. This is a high-risk, high-reward opportunity that has the potential to change your life. In the world of blue-collar labor, the amount of money we're discussing is practically unheard of. An indication of Parker's business's extreme profitability and his readiness to distribute the wealth to those who enable it. Season 15's revenues are astounding, to put it nicely. Although the precise sum paid to the entire team is still kept under wraps, the individual rewards show an almost unfathomable level of wealth. Since time costs money, it's like not running out of money to me. Although I'm not sure if this is the proper course of action, I am aware that what we were doing was incorrect. We're discussing numbers that, if earned in a single taxing season, might set someone up for life. Many people failed to notice the complex structure of incentives and bonuses that Parker had established, a framework intended to reward diligence, devotion, and most importantly, outcomes. His workforce has become one of the best-paid groups in the mining business because to this arrangement, they are now the envy of all other miners in the Yukon. Thanks to this technique, no one informs you that there's a lot of pressure to perform. Although every ounce of gold matters, and every error can be expensive, the benefits are unimaginable for those who can withstand the pressure. Regards, Tony. Regards, Tony. Yes, if we cover all that ground this year, that should be a crowded location. Yes, this area really comes alive once he gets Lucifer going. Continue your excellent work. Many thanks, everyone. Regards. I also appreciate you returning this year. These are young folks in their 20s and 30s who make more money in a season than many people do in a decade. Parker's group is at the center of this contemporary gold rush. The figures are so large that they are nearly impossible to understand. A demonstration of Parker's unshakable faith in his staff and the scope of his ambition. This goes beyond a paycheck. As a reward for their unrelenting commitment and desire to push themselves to the edge, it's a golden ticket to a new life. You'll also realize how outrageous the Season 15 compensation was as we get deeper into the individual earnings. However, not everything is as it seems, and beneath the large figures is a tale of stress, sacrifice, and the constant threat of everything collapsing. The ransom of the inner circle, the veterans, the dependable few who have supported Parker through good times and bad, are at the top of the pyramid of his staff. They are the ones who are intimately familiar with the operation, the ones who can maintain everything functioning like a well-oiled clock and foresee issues before they happen. Additionally, they receive substantial compensation for their knowledge and dedication. We are discussing numbers that are well into the six-figure area, and in certain instances, they are even approaching the seven-figure threshold. Consider the foreman, who is the second in command and bears a great deal of responsibility. They can make enormous sums of money if they have a great season like this one. We're talking about a payment that would allow you to have enough money for a very comfortable retirement while also purchasing a new home and a fleet of new trucks. The gold totals have many people in a frenzy. However, no one discloses how Parker sets up his key personnel's compensation. There is more to it than a fixed pay. It's a complicated process that considers their performance, experience, and the season's overall success. They are encouraged to go above and beyond to handle the business as though it were their own thanks to this technique. It's also a functional system. As a result, there is a group of extremely talented and driven people working together to extract as much gold as possible that is focused on the same objective. Their profits, to put it lightly, reflect how valuable they are to the organization. Many people fail to see how much trust Parker has in his inner circle. He grants them a great deal of autonomy, allowing them to manage their own portions of the business and make their own judgments. And he anticipates outcomes in exchange. Although there is a lot of strain there are also significant rewards for accomplishment. The figures are just astounding. We are discussing money that can change lives, the sort of cash that may make a young, working-class man from a tiny town a true millionaire. The Yukon's untamed, harsh terrain is a manifestation of the American ideal on steroids. It also demonstrates Parker's financial savvy and his capacity to assemble a winning team. However, the possibility of conflict and animosity increases along with the money flow. 152.3 is more than $380,000. Not every member of the crew is satisfied with their portion of the pie, as we shall see. Bounty New Bloods. What about the newcomers to Parker's group, while the seasoned members get the benefits? Those who are new to the high-stakes world of gold mining are known as rookies or greenhorns. You'd be mistaken to believe that they would be at the bottom of the food chain, making a meager living in comparison to their more seasoned peers. Parker Schnabel, you see, knows how important it is to draw in and keep fresh talent. He is aware that his operation's survival depends on a constant flow of young, insatiable people who are prepared to put in the effort and learn the ropes. As a result, he ensures that even the most recent hires on his staff receive fair compensation for their work. To put it mildly, Parker's crew makes a lot of money for a rookie, yet the figures you see on the show are only the beginning. Fan speculations about what the crew actually brings home are rife on the internet, and the numbers are astounding. Many people think that a basic wage of between $50,000 and $60,000 for the 6-month season is the starting point. That's a good wage on its own. However, no one informs you that this base wage is only the first step. The end-of-season gold bonus is the true reward, the one that keeps them going despite the cold and filth. You see, another common fan belief is that the Discovery Channel pays each important crew member separately for simply being on TV. The key guys are said to receive between $10,000 and $25,000 per episode. The statistics start to get serious when you combine that with their mining income. However, many people fail to see the bonus structure. The rate isn't fixed. It's a tiered percentage of the ultimate gold total, according to fan speculation. A seasoned foreman like Mitch Blaschke may be looking at a whole percentage point or more, while a beginner may receive a fraction of a percent. That 1% bonus is $200,000 when Parker extracts $20 million in gold. Let's do the math then. A 20-year-old rookie may begin with a base pay of $50,000. Add a small $30,000 gold bonus to their television appearance fee, and all of a sudden, they are earning far over $100,000 for just 6 months of employment. The figures are staggering for a veteran, probably exceeding $250,000. Parker is using this as a calculated tactic. In addition to being giving, he is investing in loyalty and building a team that will support him no matter what. For a new miner, the learning curve is really severe. They must develop their ability to read the ground, operate multi-tone-on machines, and endure long hours in harsh conditions. The work is challenging, and not everyone is suited for it. However, the benefits are definitely worth the effort for those who can persevere. It's a difficult to beat advantage in life, an opportunity to establish a strong financial base before the majority of people have even completed their undergraduate education. And all of this is a result of Parker's readiness to distribute the wealth to each and every team member. However, high expectations accompany large sums of money. Additionally, there is a lot of pressure on the rookies to demonstrate their value. Will they break under the pressure or be able to withstand the heat? The dream's worst aspects. When you see the huge bonuses and the large statistics on film, it's easy to get swept up in the glitz and glamour and believe that being a gold miner is all about making quick money. What no one tells you, however, is that every dollar that is tallied and every ounce of gold has a backstory that is filled with suffering, sacrifice, and high personal costs. You see, the money might change your life, but it has a cost that isn't monetary. We're talking about living in a secluded, isolated area of the world that feels more like a different planet, away from friends and family, for a third of the year. A person's mental and emotional health may suffer greatly from this existence, which can be extremely isolating, a bubble of extreme stress, and never-ending work. The working conditions are harsh, to put it mildly. The miners chase the brief Alaskan summer by putting in gruelingly long hours, often 12 hours a day, 6 or even 7 days a week. The choking dust in the dry heat, the unavoidable muck when the permafrost thaws, and the bitter cold of the early season are all persistent threats to them, and there is always a chance that they could get seriously hurt because of the harsh nature of the massive machinery they work. Even a little moment of distraction can have disastrous results. A career can be ended, or worse, by a simple slip on a damp surface, a damaged wire, or a bursting hydraulic line. The physical and emotional fatigue that accumulates throughout the season is something that many people fail to recognize. After months of arduous, repetitive work, a bone-deep fatigue sets in. They're exhausted at the conclusion of the season, push their minds and bodies to the maximum. The fact that they continue is evidence of their extraordinary fortitude. Many people are obsessed with the concept of becoming wealthy, but they fail to notice the negative aspects of that fantasy. It is simply another weekday in the Klondike, and they are blind to the strained relationships, missed anniversaries, birthdays, and holidays. In actuality, they are blind to the pixelated video calls that are a poor substitute for a goodnight kiss, or the nagging sensation that they are constantly cut off from the lives of the people they care about the most. Someone who is prepared to risk all for the possibility of a brighter future is needed in this area of work. The problem is that lost time cannot be recovered. Furthermore, even if the financial benefits such as debt relief and increased security can be enormous, they are not necessarily sufficient to make up for the losses incurred along the route. It serves as a sobering reminder that having a strong financial account isn't the only thing in life, that pursuing wealth obsessively can frequently have very costly costs. Therefore, let's not overlook the unseen sacrifices and hidden costs of Parker's crew's extraordinary achievement while we marvel at their outrageous incomes. And there's still the last question. Is it all worthwhile in the end? Was the incredible payoff this season a one-time occurrence, or has Parker discovered a secret recipe for success? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below.